I didn't come up with a clever intro for this. Wow.
Damn, if only you had scaled a giant rock to figure it out.
No.
No.
Never.
But
I would have done better about going down that slippery hill. We'll talk about it. But, oh boy. Hello, and hi, racers. Welcome to Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. And in realizing that I never had caffeine today in our last recording, which may or may not have just happened right before this one, I bet you won't be able to know what episode we talked about for an hour that time. Ooh, it was Survivor. And yes, we filmed them back to back. Also in the same way and in the same order that they air them on Wednesdays, which I also think is very fun. All that to say, I am drinking unnamed strawberry lime caffeinated beverage today. It's sparkling. It's giving me energy. And it's making me feel very, very lovely and refreshed and energized. And you know what else makes me feel refreshed and energized, Jack? A cup mug.
Yeah, you're right. That does really make me feel energized. There we go.
Panel full of cup mug. It's the Rock remix. That's all. And you can get your cup mug and all of our other merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link is down in the description below. And we do ship domestically within the United States and North America. Internationally, there are some excuses, and we're working on that. South America, we're working on it. Because I know the race is going all through South and Central America this season. We're working on it.
We're getting there.
Merch. Yeah.
And my name is Jack. I'm the resident game designer at the panel. And yeah, no, I wouldn't have done cooking either. You can look through my Twitter to figure out why.
Oh, baby, I know why. I don't need to look through your Twitter to know why.
It's bad.
See, this would be the challenge if you and I were a team, which I also think A, would be very entertaining. And B,
a fucking disaster.
An absolute disaster. And C, they'd probably have to charge Jack for the number of times they would just start cursing out of absolute nowhere. And the amount of censorship that they would have to do to Jack, you wouldn't be able to hear Jack say anything else.
Basically.
And D, honestly, I think we probably should apply because I think it'd be so chaotic.
I think we have to now. Like, we don't really have a choice.
Well, oh, wait. Can you drive stick?
I can figure it out.
Great.
And if not, I'll just crash.
Better than me. I'll take that because I don't drive, period. So you're one step ahead of me. It's like the one thing I'm like, oh, there's so many different people that I'm like, oh, I could go on the Amazing Race with you. Neither of us drive stick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All I need you to do is know how to drive stick and be a pretty proficient swimmer.
Yeah, no, I can do that.
Those are the only two things I can't do.
Hi, CBS. This is our Amazing Race 37.
Hey, cast us. Ooh.
Do you want two not problematic.
Do you want two neurotic queer people on your show together? Cast us.
Do you want two queer people at the fucking end of their ropes? Great. You could drop us off buildings. We'll be fine.
I will jump off a building. I will eat whatever you need me to. I am pretty good with puzzles. I'm pretty good with like spatial awareness.
Can't run, but like we shouldn't need that.
I can run.
I can't.
Oh, god damn it. Okay. So the whole time it'd just be me going, "Come on, Jack!"
And I'll be on your back like, "Go."
God, Lord Jesus. Anyway, it's one of those episodes. But we are here. It is episode 3 of Amazing Race 36. And Walla Walla is hanging in there. Walla Walla is hanging in there. We'll talk about it. I got worried in this episode.
Yeah, this was an episode.
It sure was. And we're going to dive into everything relating to this episode. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we are here almost all the time, giving you almost all things reality TV, with a bunch of fabulous reality TV on the way, which I'm very excited about. So, obviously, we've got Survivor and Amazing Race right now. We've got Deal or No Deal Island. We've got several friends that were or continue to be on TV right now. So, we've got all of that going on. Make sure to go check out all 3 of our other channels as well, with Almost All Things Drag, Almost All Things Eurovision Song Contest, and Almost All Things Wrestling Recaps over on our new channel, The Cup Ringside. All those links are down in the description below. And if you want to support us in a monetary fashion and help us make you a better podcast, then make sure to join our membership channel. Head over to the Tea Room over on our main channel or over on Patreon. Same content, different platform for exclusive access to some content and early access as well. Those links are down in the description below as well. So, we are finally headed out of Puerto Vallarta. Jack, you missed our double episode saga in Puerto Vallarta. I don't know if you have any... Would you like to take your moment to talk about it, or just in general talk about it?
I mean, they had 2 episodes in Puerto Vallarta. If you just eliminated the bottom 2 at that first pit stop, we could have had a lot less tired people and a lot less heat stroke.
Right.
I do love Danny looking to the camera and like, can I paint on her face while she's on the ground? Okay, cool. We're still going.
Loved it. Danny Butler is becoming an Amazing Race icon. That's all I have to say about the matter. But
yeah,
we are finally out of Puerto Vallarta. And as we know, this was filmed before season 35. So we're back on charter planes, which means there's no heading to an airport, none of that at all. So we are headed to Guatape, Colombia, the most colorful town in the world. And I have to say, this was gorgeous.
Oh, it was.
Because Puerto Vallarta is cute. Puerto Vallarta is lovely, gal. But Guatape?
Art. Literally just art.
And it's the first time that the race has visited, because I know they visited Colombia in the past, because Colombia is not one of the new countries we're going to this season. But it is our first time in Guatape, Colombia, which I'm very excited that we are doing that. We've got teams leaving in 3 groups, departing every 15 minutes. I think, honestly, I'm really liking the way that we've been doing our Amazing Race recaps, where I'm just going to throw everything that happened on the board at the start, and we can kind of just talk about things in whatever order we want to, because I think that's really it's been working for me and Lana for the last couple of episodes, and I think that's a kind of maybe the best way to go about Amazing Race, because everything happens so...
erratically,
Erratically, for lack of a better term, yes. So, we are headed out.
We start on the base of El Peñón de Guatape.
Thank you, because I did not have that up.
I still probably pronounced it wrong.
El Peñón de Guatape.
There we go.
So we are climbing the stairs of El Peñón de Guatape to get their first clue, which is a detour where we've got bandeja paisa, where teams are required to cook a savory breakfast situation that will be judged by a trio of local abuelas. And we'll talk about the abuelas. Or yapao, where teams have to stack up this local Jeep situation. No one does it, so it doesn't matter. But that's what the other detour was.
Yeah,
but literally everyone ends up cooking. So
people try. People try for a little bit,
and we'll talk about it. We then see teams go from there to the pit stop. Who's feeling picky, where they have to harvest 1 kilo's worth of coffee beans before heading to the pit stop at Casaloma Finca Cafetera.
Yeah. Literally, it is just the cafeteria that is attached to the plot.
To where the coffee growing plant is. That's all that's happening. So This hike up up the El Peñón de Guatape, that was brutal.
You can see it. It's just, oh God, I think they said, and I mean, I can just also click on the link really quick. Visitors can scale the rock via a staircase with 708 steps built into one side.
It's like 60 stories or something.
200 meters or 656 feet.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So that's roughly that's roughly like 60,
it's bad.
60 floors worth of for my Stairmaster girlies. That's like 65, I think, something like that. Anyway, on a season where they cast so many people of a certain age, I was like, y'all are gonna do that. Y'all are gonna do that to Derek and Shalisa. Y'all are gonna do that to no, don't do that. Don't do that.
You're gonna do that to Angie. You're gonna do that.
Poor Angie.
And unfortunately, they're also gonna do that to Michelle and Sean, specifically Sean, who fun fact, horrible fear of heights.
Horrible fear of heights.
Just to put it in perspective, I'm gonna make sure that I have the correct height for the Empire State Building here. But if I'm thinking correctly, the Empire State Building is about 1,250 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You are publicly climbing basically half the height of the Empire State Building, while the staircase is on the side of the building. I would be on the floor and be like, yeah, no, I'm good. I can just go home now. Right. I don't need to do this.
Right.
And then you have to go back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we talked about, everyone ended up doing the cooking task, though we did see both Michelle and Sean and our twins start at the Yapao task. This felt very imbalanced, I'm going to be honest. Because unless you are absolutely, like, you cannot do anything in a kitchen at all, like, the other one felt so imbalanced. And I was just like, I don't get this at all, but work, Diva.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't have any sort of limit on how many people could do each task. They quite literally had enough stations for everyone because they were all assigned little
little placards. They're like little placards with like a very specific like symbol. I forget what it's called. But yeah, I feel like they had this as a task and just like needed something extra to just call it a detour because they needed a detour for this leg. And that's what it felt like to me. But we got to talk about the Anthony and Bailey of it all because they switch back and forth 3 different times.
The first time they try to go to Yapao, and they get a little bit on, but then they get intimidated by the ropes. And they're like, let's switch. And then they get to Bandaya Paisa, and they see the word chicharrones and immediately turn back. They're like, nope, we're not doing this shit. We're gone. And then they get back to Yapao and do it again and realize, no, we're not getting this. Let's just go cook. And then they finally do the cooking in one shot. Just horrible.
It felt very meta too, because when they switched detours, they were like, this might be our last words, but we're switching detours. And I'm like, yeah, you're going home.
Yeah. The thing that I'm trying to imagine though, how did the people to Yipao feel when only 2 teams showed up first? Only 2 teams out of 13, which like they probably expected like a half crowd or like a quarter crowd at least. So when 2 teams show up, it's like, wow, that's weird. And then one team leaves, the other team leaves. One of the teams comes back and then leaves. Like no one even completes it. I don't think anyone goes halfway through it. It's just like
they got paid. I don't feel like they care.
Yeah, they got paid. That's valid.
That's how I would feel. It's like, oh, you mean I don't have to look at these idiots doing this thing that I know how to do very, very well? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're paying me? Cool.
Okay.
But I just got some very bad March Madness news in the middle of this podcast, and I'm mad about it.
I don't do sports.
This is the one time of year I do sports.
Yay!
It's this and the women's gymnastics NCAA championship. That's like this is the time of year where like from mid-March to literally the national championship for women's gymnastics this year at the college level is on 4/20. So from mid-March to 4/20, I care about sports. Anyway, circling back to Amazing Race. A lot of these teams do very, very well at this detour. Our chubby gays do very well because Caesar is a chef.
Whoops.
What does he not do?
Be straight? I don't know.
I guess that's kind of the only thing. But they do a really good job at it. Derek and Shalissa struggle a little bit because Shalissa doesn't make enough rice for everything. Most teams do a pretty good job. It just takes a little bit of time. The ones that are on the struggle bus here are Karishma and Kishori. Because they get to the detour and they're like, oh, we have to cook meat. And one of them is vegan and one of them is vegetarian. So they run over to Derek and Shalissa. And
Mom, Dad, please help.
I love Kishori in this moment because she's just like, we don't eat meat. We've never cooked meat. What do we do? Just pure panic. Pure panic. And this was also the leg where I feel like a lot of people were like trying to work together on stuff. Because we completely skipped over the boat ride where Angie and Danny fall out of their second group like lead because the motor of the water taxi that they chose stopped working. And so that caused it literally caused Karishma and Kishori to catch up with them.
There was a nice little bit of ADR at the end of the route info of once they've decided their taxi, they can't switch. Just to like rub it in just a little more that Danny and Angie are just screwed.
Yep.
But the only other really notable thing here is Juan is actually a native Colombian. So
oh yeah, so he was. I forgot about that as well. Thank you for reminding me, Jack.
You're welcome. So yeah, no, Juan is very used to this because he's cooked this before. Unsurprisingly, teams that have Spanish are doing well. Spanish or Latin roots are doing well in a Spanish-speaking country. I love this season. But yeah, I mean, this is literally just Sunday breakfast for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no question.
No.
And I mean, the only other things of note are Sunny and Busy basically say, yeah, normally when we cook there's alarms that are going off halfway through. We're not sure if that's an actual fire or someone fucked up in the kitchen. So
we got to talk about Sunny as well, because we find out at the top of the episode too that she had just gotten a call the day before, probably on their rest day, I'm assuming, or their travel day, that her grandmother had passed. And I can only imagine what that's like. I appreciate them both for continuing the race, and I think that's a remarkable thing. Especially because then we see throughout the episode, there's so many different things that are like so reminiscent of Sunny's grandmother for her, like having the abuelas at the task, and then the fact that her grandmother grew up on a farm picking apples, so that's why she was able to do very well in the roadblock. And I was so happy that she got that sort of like recognition that like, no, your grandma's with you right now. Like she is all around you in this whole leg and you didn't even know it. So
you're now a 3-person team. Congrats.
Yes. Sunny and Busy and Sunny's grandma. You are whatever placement you got.
But yeah, I mean, the only other real thing of note is at this point, it is pretty damn obvious who's going home. Like, there's not a question.
Well, it's one of two teams. At this point, it's like, and the difficulty with this too is like, Ricky and Caesar are so far ahead of the pack. Like I think they finished the roadblock before, like, I think there was like one other team there, maybe. Like, they absolutely just demolished this episode. Everyone else is in this like amalgamation of 2nd through 9th that really like it's a toss up there, and we'll talk about it when we get to the final rankings, but like there was a major shift out of absolutely nowhere that happened, and then it was kind of like, all right, well, is Michelle and Sean going home, or are the twins going home?
We did also have just a little bit of a scare for Angie and Danny as well. Like just a little bit that kind of got resolved. But then
I was terrified for Angie and Danny the whole time. Terrified. But all of the teams end up at the roadblock. They're all doing the roadblock. There's nothing that is super, out there about this roadblock. Everyone kind of does it. They get it done.
It's just picking coffee cherries off of bushes, and you have to get 1 kilo of processed seeds.
Yes.
Specifically processed. So it is a little more work than people are expecting. But
this would have been my dream, Jack. I love coffee. I'm literally going to go have coffee after we record this video. Yes, it's the evening. No, I don't care. Like, I love coffee. So, like, I would have just been like, oh, like this. I could only imagine what that smells like. Like, I would be in heaven.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. But honestly, we can kind of just talk about everything else that happens when we talk about rankings. And I think we're kind of there.
We're kind of there.
This was a really good episode. The problem is, like, the problem with podcasting about this season so far is that A, you can tell that the episodes were beefed up from 60 to 90 minutes. B, it's like, I love Amazing Race, but there's also like not a whole lot to talk about because some of the teams just do all of the tasks and make it to the pit stop like 5th or 6th. So it's like, but make sure to subscribe because this is the quality content that you hopefully want. I hope. And getting first place in the lead from the start, from the jump, are gays! Yay!
The gays!
The gays! And that could mean multiple teams on this season, which makes me very happy. But it's Ricky and Caesar, yay! And they win a trip to Cape Town, South Africa!
Yay!
Why was there trepidation in your voice?
I have feelings about South Africa.
Oh, that's valid. That's valid. That's valid.
But yeah, good for them. They get to enjoy Cape Town.
Woo. So, like I said, we kind of had 2nd through 8th, I would say, kind of in this big clump where we didn't really know what was going to happen, who was going to do it. And out of absolutely nowhere, Amber and Vinny end up coming 2nd in this leg because Vinny demolishes this roadblock. Like, goes straight to the top. And because at this point, I think they got there like 6th or 7th.
Yes.
And Vinny grew up picking, I forget what it was.
I think it was either apples or cherries.
Something like that. So he's very used to this kind of thing. So he goes in, he just absolutely demolishes it. And out of nowhere, they pop from like the bottom of the table to 2nd place. Y'all better work. Good for you.
Good on them.
Right. Our consistent 3rd place team for a 3rd leg in a row is Derek and Shalisa. Always 3rd. And then this is when like all of the teams start darting in, and they literally all show up at basically the same time. So we end up with Derek and Shalisa 3rd, Juan and Shane end up 4th, Rod and Leticia in 5th, Yvonne and Melissa in 6th, which show us more of the lesbians, please. You have 90 minutes per week.
So
I know, and I love it. But show us more lesbians. Thank you.
Lesbianism.
Sunny and Busy end up coming 7th, and then Kishori and Karishma come 8th. After a pretty good performance in the roadblock from Kishori, she powers through it. She had a really great performance. Juan did really well in the roadblock as well. Like a lot of people did, just powered through it.
And then we have the bottom 3.
And thankfully, coming 9th, I was very, very happy that it was Angie and Danny. I am happy that they had Angie do this roadblock, because I think the biggest obstacle moving forward for this team is if Danny keeps doing all of the roadblocks, he's gonna run out of roadblocks. And so I'm happy that they said, this is a reasonable task. We're gonna have Angie do it. Was she very slow at it? Yes.
Yeah.
Was Danny in the 5 stages of grief during this roadblock? Also, yes.
You got this, Mom. You got this. Danny, I'm going to need you to shut up.
There's still 2 teams behind you. I don't need to hear that. That's just going to make me more stressed.
I love them. I love them so much.
I love them. She reminds me so much of my mom, and my mom's name is also Angie. So, like, honestly, I feel like she's kind of my mom.
Yeah.
Angie, Danny, let me know. But they do end up coming 9th. Angie is basically finishing up as both Michelle and Sean and Anthony and Bailey show up to the roadblock. Michelle and Sean do have a bit of a lead over the twins. And that does end up paying off, because they do end up getting to the roadblock in the rain, or to the pit stop in the rain, in 10th, narrowly escaping elimination again.
But completely eating shit.
Oh, I loved this. The fact that he was... Oh, wait. I gotta talk about Sean. Sir... The fact that he said, I can't even get down a hill, and threatened to quit over a hill.
Yeah. He didn't quit.
Honest. Yeah,
he didn't quit going up El Pinon, but this like 60-foot hill is too much.
If it was a team that I had liked a little bit more than the Twins, if I liked the Twins a little bit more, I would have been very mad about this. And normally this is the part of the program where I'm like, go home. Go home.
But no. They'll go home
no,
next
it's fine
episode.
because I do like Michelle. Yeah,
Yeah,
that seems to be where the edit is heading, unfortunately.
yeah, they are. I mean, the last 2 episodes, they were the bottom 2.
Weren't they also the
So
bottom 2 in the first episode?
in the first episode, they were 5th.
Oh yes, they
So
had
they
12th
plummeted.
place. Yes. But yes, they do end up getting there, and we do see our twins go home.
Unsurprisingly.
And I'm not gutted about this one, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
They're just they both seem like absolutely lovely guys. And they probably are absolutely wonderful people. They're just the kind of team that I'm never really gonna, inherently root for. So, but glad you were there.
I mean, they were sweet. It's just
they were sweet and a little like all over the place. And a little don't really have that good of social skills, but they did provide the iconic moment of asking who Elizabeth Taylor was. So I'll take that. But and then in the first episode when they thought they had to climb up the pole.
Just the sweetest, dumbest things possible. But that's fun.
A little bit, but
that'd be something I'd do.
That is something you would do.
Yeah. We do need to apply. I'm slowly realizing this.
Right? I'm like, maybe. But next episode, we are still in Colombia, but we are heading to Medellin, the capital, I believe. Yes. For more chaos. This season is chaos and competitiveness. And that's pretty much where we're at. So, thanks for joining for this episode recap of The Amazing Race season 36. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, same us, maybe with Alana. Who knows? To talk about episode 4. Let us know down in the comments below. What did you think of this episode? Are you excited that our good friends Angie and Danny are still in the race? Walla Walla. I have to be honest, every time I see them on screen, I just scream, Walla Walla! And it's very entertaining to me in the process of watching these episodes. So make sure to subscribe over here. Hit the notification bell for all of our reality TV content coming out very, very shortly. Make sure to go check out all 3 of our other channels and our membership channel for exclusive content and early access. All those links are down in the description below. When you're down in the description below, you could also go follow us on our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, which is scrolling by as we speak. You could also go follow me and Jack down below, and you could also go get your merch, including but not limited to Cup Mug, currently only shipping within North America. Unfortunately, we're working on it because we would like to have the Cup Mug go on a race around the world. So, with all that being said, cheers.
Cheers.
Wow.
Dun, 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 dun.